schematic, right? I'm saying in that project that you're working on, let's say you're working on project A, and it's under theme I. The theme I can continue, but then you'll have to move to project B, right? But what I'm asking is, if you're doing project A, when do you know it's ready? It never is. Okay. How many people that know no design is ever ready? No? Okay, the chair that you're sitting on, it's not ready? This is scope for improvement, there is? Upgradation every time? That's sure. I mean, technology comes in and things can change. But in that moment, in the constraints that you have,
if the basic needs are covered, so it can go for manufacturing or production.
Basic needs are covered? Okay, that's a great answer. How many people agree with her, by the way? When all the needs are covered, we know it's ready.
Yeah.
Deadline be damned.
Yeah. Only for the deadline, not the actual design.
तो वही आ गया ना घूम के. So I'm going to share with you what I have found to be quite useful, and my students have found it quite useful. It's very simple. You will feel like, oh, ये तो हमें पता ही था. But all I'm doing it is perhaps giving it a little bit of a structure for you to follow through. Okay, and I'm calling it the hierarchy of design. There are 3 steps in this hierarchy. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The first one says design what is necessary. The second is design what is important. And the third is design what is happy. Do we know the difference between necessary and important?
No.
Or is there so much more to it?
So much more.
What are the complexities? And this is not just about a chair. You can take it and place it for any product in the world. Again, I'm saying whether it's a space, it's an experience, it's an installation, it's a software, any of those things. Yeah? Shall we move ahead? Are you with me till now?
Yes.
Not too complicated?
Yeah.
So I've divided this presentation in 2 chapters. Okay? Chapter 1 is rather small, so I'll go through it very quickly. Chapter 2 is slightly larger, so we'll take our time with it. Okay, so chapter 1 is hierarchy of design. Somebody asked me, how did you start designing? Well, let's see how we start here, and we'll also talk about how to end design. So before I move to the next slide, I want to ask you, how many of you struggle to decide when your design is ready? When the ideation is done? When does it usually happen? When the deadline is finished. अच्छा अब बस अब नहीं और हो सकता. Why is it that we are guiding our design with a deadline? I think it deserves more, doesn't it? You cannot let a deadline guide when you're done designing. And that does not mean that you ask your faculty for an extension, by the way. There has to be a system, a better way to make sure that we've ticked all the boxes, right? That okay, our design is done. So who has this magic formula? Anybody? Any suggestions that you've come across? Anything that's worked for you, guys? Yes.
So usually what I do is I always try to focus or base my assignments on topics that I'm already interested in. So that even after my submission, I can then keep working on it.
Yeah. I think we're almost done. Good for you guys. Designers should spend a lot of time and effort understanding and investigating the user. Mr. Research, where they belong to, what their environmental structures are, and things including like history, customs, traditions, rituals, and belief systems. So tomorrow if you go out and do your user research, do you look for these things? Sometimes, not always. I say you should always look at it because you don't know where your insight is going to come from. The objective is to capture and communicate through design, literally or in abstraction, ideas, ideologies, frameworks, and even philosophies, thus creating opportunities for fascinating juxtapositions and unexpected evolutions of the design outcome that ensures relevance to the user's personal context. And I'm not saying that you can design for each individual. Remember that subjective, objective, how that transition happens. If you're able to successfully identify a common enough experience, then you can design for mass. These things can be scaled very easily as well. It does not mean everything has to be a customized experience, because that is not always economically viable either. And oh, we have one more. Oh, no, this is a good one. You'll enjoy this one. Okay. So, like I said, designers have to understand human emotion to be able to read it, understand it, engage it, and respond to it. And this is one of my favorite projects. I always use it when I talk to designers because of how well it tackles that one very, very elusive emotion that you'll see in a minute. Okay. This is a brand called Open Bionic.